I'm not gonna fight your war. I'm gonna end it.
So, I saw Captain Marvel the other night, and okay. So going into this, I was fully dedicated, like 100% on the hype train and completely willing to ignore the general lack of excitement I felt after I watched all the trailers and TV spots and promotional stuff. Sometimes trailers can be super misleading, and I was trying to keep an open mind. Anyway, the point is that I was in on Captain Marvel before I saw it, and I barely knew anything about her other than the fact that she was probably the Avengers' best hope at defeating Thanos in Endgame. A lady who's more powerful than freaking Thanos? Sign me up. I thought, this is gonna be like Wonder Woman, only better. And you know what? Yes, there are good moments, and the movie features the only good cat I've ever seen. But in all seriousness, I left the theater extremely disappointed. And because I'm a millennial and I work at an entertainment news company, it's only natural that I vent to the good people of the internet about it in hopes that someone will validate me and make me not feel sad anymore. Or, you know, someone can yell at me in the comments and I can feel stupid instead of sad. Before I get into it though, you should hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Because if you don't, 50% of the people you know and love will evaporate into dust. LOL Infinity War jokes. I'm sorry, I'm tired and I really just want you to subscribe. Please. I'm gonna start with my biggest issue, which is that Captain Marvel needed to show, not tell. The film is just too completely on the nose, for my taste. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, so I'll give you a non-Captain Marvel example of what I'm talking about when I say on the nose. In the completely underrated 2006 rom-com, The Breakup, there's this scene where Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn are arguing about doing the dishes.
You just said that you want me to help you do the dishes.
I want you to want to do the dishes.
Why would I want to do dishes?
This scene, at face value, yes, is about the act of dishwashing. But as a viewer, you pick up on the fact that, hey, this is a window into their larger relationship issues, and while they might be literally arguing about the dishes, they're really arguing about the things that bother them about one another as romantic partners. I like this kind of dialogue. It is not on the nose. Things are implied. In the filmmakers' trust, we are smart enough to pick up on those things. Captain Marvel does not do this. And the worst thing is that it doesn't do this in the most crucial scenes. The movie's favorite thing to do is to tell Carol Danvers that she's smart and funny and brave no matter what. And it does this with other female characters too. In one scene, and those of you who have seen the film will know what I'm talking about, a character literally says to another character that staying home and not being adventurous is setting a bad example for younger generations. Which, like, cool, yes, those things are correct in some ways. And I get that Carol's memory is all messed up because it's been erased or whatever, but I don't feel like the Carol I saw throughout the course of the movie really exemplified being a strong woman, being a smart woman, being a funny woman. What I wanted was what Wonder Woman did, beautifully. And I know Captain Marvel isn't Wonder Woman, but still, let's look at this scene.
This is no man's land, Diana. It means no man can cross it, all right? This battalion has been here for nearly a year, and they barely gained an inch. All right, because on the other side, there are a bunch of Germans pointing machine guns at every square inch of this place. This is not something you can cross. It's not possible.
So what? So we do nothing?
No, we are doing something. We are. We can't save everyone in this war. This is not what we came here to do.
No, but it's what I'm going to do.
Taking all the fire, let's go! Go! Down! Strike there! Strike there!
didn't even know it was possible to feel this inspired after watching a movie. I've seen Wonder Woman almost 8 times, and this scene hit me the same way every time. I tear up, I get goosebumps. I feel like I can do anything after I watch that scene. Hell, I even watched it before I got in front of the camera to make this video. That scene says women are strong and capable and can do anything without actually saying it. That scene shows women that you can be strong and capable. That scene makes you feel something. That scene matters. Captain Marvel doesn't have a scene like that, for me at least. I feel like the filmmakers and the writers and the producers and whoever else heard their friends talk about feminism a couple times and then tried to incorporate those thoughts into the movie without actually understanding what those values mean or what it means to be a feminist. Basically, I don't think anyone who was involved in the writing or directing or producing of this movie had something to say about women in society. This is a minor spoiler, so mute until you see this graphic go away, but the final straw for me was when they played No Doubt's Just a Girl in the background of a major fight scene. Who thought that was a good idea? It's so ridiculous. Which, you know what? Fine. Captain Marvel didn't need to be this big feminist saga thing, but it needed to do something. Which brings me to my next large issue with the movie. The story isn't interesting. I was creeping in a work G chat earlier and somebody said something casually like, it's a paint-by-numbers story and if you don't know what's going to happen in the first 10 minutes or so, then you're just not paying attention, or something along those lines. And that pretty much sums it up. This is a basic movie, story-wise. The visual effects are awesome. There's some really cool battle scenes, but it's predictable, it's unoriginal, and it's boring. My boss called it Captain Meh-Vel, and wow, I am lucky to work for a genius. And all of this is really, really sad when you consider the fact that the film has a stellar cast. Samuel L. Jackson is wonderful as a more lighthearted Nick Fury. Lashana Lynch totally stole the show, in my opinion. And Ben Mendelsohn is great. But I can't comment on Brie Larson's performance without getting into my final major point, which is, I feel nothing when it comes to Carol Danvers or the character of Captain Marvel. But I'm not of the opinion that this is a Brie Larson issue, but instead a larger writing and directing issue. I honestly don't know what else you could have done if those were the lines you had to deliver. She tried, okay?
Heroes. Noble warrior heroes.
Let's just say if the Carol Danvers we met in Captain Marvel is really supposed to be the one carrying the MCU in Phase 4, I'm concerned. Because girl, from what I saw, she does not have the personality or charm. The only thing I took away from this was that Captain Marvel is really powerful. And I didn't need a whole solo movie to tell me that. She could have just made a grand entrance in Endgame and we'd all get it. We'd be fine. Like I said, I don't think it's fair to blame this on Brie Larson's performance at this stage. So I, for one, am really interested to see how things go in Avengers Endgame, because honestly, I think all of the Thor solo movies, besides Thor Ragnarok, are super basic. And if I only had Thor and Thor the Dark World to judge him on, I'd be really disappointed in the God of Thunder too. But I love Thor in the Avengers movies, and I think what they did with him in Ragnarok was genius, so maybe Captain Marvel will grow on me. I guess I'll have to get back to you in a few months after I see how Avengers Endgame plays out. But in the meantime, please let me know what you thought of Captain Marvel in the comments. And hit subscribe. I promise we don't always make videos complaining about something. Plus, there are a bunch of other cool CinemaBlend people who make videos and have great opinions on things that you should totally watch.